Well, I may have gotten a little ahead of myself when I said we could move to the back here. I think there's still a couple more things we should do up front, and one of them is this spring. The springs here are just kind of floating out in nowhere. They're not really grounded to anything. So I think what I'd like to do is work on this. I'm going to move this over a little bit so it's right up next to the engine block here. And I feel like we need some things on the top and the bottom to kind of connect them to the rest of the vehicle. So what I'm going to do is move the cursor with Shift S2, and then I want to create a cube, and let's take this down. Let's type in 0.2 to shrink it down quite a bit, and I want to scale it in the Z, so it's just kind of right here. Maybe I need to scale it out just a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. And I think I just want to bring it up to the top here. And let's put it up on top right here. So it just kind of caps that off right there. And in addition, we'll use that same cube, Shift D, Z, and move that back down here. And let's use that same cube to create, I don't know, something on the bottom that kind of connects to the axle. I don't want it to be exactly like this because we'd just be using up too many polygons, I think. I think we can do something a little more low poly, but still have it connected. So I think what I'll do is go ahead and apply the scale of this and tab into edit mode. And if I select this face here, I can hit the I key and inset this and take this in pretty small. And then if I add 2 edge loops right here and scale out in the Y with S and Y, then I can kind of drag these out like that. Oh, and I've been saying the local transformations here. I'll switch that to global. All right, so let's grab these 2 faces now, and let's just extrude them straight down, and maybe even scale them in, S and X, just like that. So it kind of connects it to that axle piece. And I know that's not exactly the way it is inside there, and that's fine. I'm just looking to try and connect things up here. And of course, to connect it to the wheel, we're going to need more inside there. You can see kind of in here, there's more going on inside the wheel. I think we're going to need another piece in there. So I'll select that wheel and tab into edit mode and select, say, an edge there so I get the pivot point in the center, and then move the cursor to it with Shift S2. And then I'll create a cylinder right here. Let's make it 24 sides. And I'll go ahead and type in 0.1 and 0.2 here to shrink it down quite a bit. Let's maybe take this face down here and let's delete it. Delete faces, and then let's turn this around the y-axis. So I'll press RY Control, and I'm just going to turn it till it hits 90 degrees right there, and click. And then let's scale it in the X, S and X, and about like that. And then I'll scale it up. Just hit S and extend it out or scale it out to about the size here. Oh, that's a little too much. Let me scale it in about like this. And bring it in just a bit. And then I just want to add a few more edges. You can kind of see some edges in there. So I better apply the scale here if I'm going to inset. I'll hit I and bring that in a bit. E and push in. I, E and pull out a bit. I again. So you can see I'm just adding a few edges to try and add some visual interest to it. And then I need to bring this whole thing out to kind of connect with that axle piece right there. There we go. All right, let's smooth it. And we'll turn on auto smooth here. Okay. So you can see I've just got these pieces that I'm just trying to connect them up. So as we see them from a distance or kind of catch a glimpse underneath there as the car is turning, we just see that things aren't hanging out in space. All right, let's go ahead and mirror this over. I'll take this one and delete that. and let's grab these pieces, all 4 of these here, and let's join them together. Control J. Then I'll move the cursor to the center of the grid with Shift S1, and we'll move that origin to the 3D cursor, and then we can mirror it over here. Oh, there's a bit of a problem there. Let's try and apply the rotation right here, and that helps. Okay, so we've got that. I think that connects things pretty well down there. The other thing we need is something up here. So this is just kind of hanging out. I believe that this can come down and kind of rest on top of here, and then we could maybe extrude again to get this piece coming out right here. Because this piece was ultimately this, but I think we also need something right here to connect with that. So let's take a look at that piece, that engine block kind of piece in here. I'll select it and hit the division key on the numpad, and that will kind of isolate that. We've got a lot of other pieces in here. Let me hit the division key one more time, and one more time, and there we go. Now we can take a look at this. So if I brought these faces down, I'm afraid it would kind of intersect with this edge here. So let's get rid of this edge. Alt-click that, X, and dissolve edges. There we go. I don't think we really needed that. So now let's grab these faces here, and these are the ones we want to bring down. Let me hit that division key again, and let's try and bring this down to meet up with the top of the spring there. Let's just go ahead and bring it down like this. How are we doing? Are we hitting that? Yeah. So right about in here, let's say. And then maybe I could grab that edge and bring it out just a bit. Well, let me try this, and I'll grab this, and I'll bring it out as well, too. So it's kind of in line with that, like that. Okay. Now let's go back and take a look at it. I'll hit that division key again. It's looking pretty good. It looks like this could probably come back in line with this again, right? So maybe I could just drag that edge back so it's kind of in line with that. We might be able to take this edge up here and move it up a bit. Let's see. Like that. Let's hit the division key and take a look at it. Okay, it hasn't come through. That's good. Let's see how far we can pull it up before it comes through. Ah, there it is. So maybe we could pull it up to there. Now I think what we need to do is go ahead and add an edge loop and extrude this out just a little bit. Now I feel like, well, there's a couple things going on. I feel like that this is a little too far out. So if we select this edge here, right there, I pressed Alt-Z to be able to see through it just a bit. And let's bring this in some so it's kind of in line like that. And then we can add that edge loop. Let's do that. So Control R, here's that edge loop. I'm going to hit E, and then I'll hit the F key, and I want it flat, so I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to bring it up to about right here. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. So if we grab these two faces here now, can we extrude these out just a little bit? Pull that out so it kind of goes right to the inside of the fender there. Let's go ahead and hit the division key again and take a look at it. Yeah, it looks like we haven't overlapped anything or thrown anything completely out of alignment. These are strange, but frankly, they're inside here, so it doesn't really matter too much. We could select these and slide this along that edge with the G key. Slide it down like that. And we could grab this and hit the G key 2 times and slide it down like that. So yeah, the G key 2 times slides along an edge. All right, let's hit the division key. And yeah, I think that helps fill that space, helps clean that up. All right, so in the next video, what let's do is go ahead and begin working on filling in underneath in the back of the vehicle.